Getting started in 10 minutes. Toss any links to news stories into the Discord. Where's Waldo? Discord. https Discord GG Beignet Tridix 8. Slots. The result is at KBP24. Good job, you got 2 equal emojis x2. You won 100 points. Chicken dinner.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and this is Bo. Look at him. Little Bobo right there. Little Bobo. Hi. Look at those ears. Look at those things. Those belong in Warcraft, World of Warcraft. They're so big. Like, these are Warcraft ears. That's what these are. Look at the size of these monsters.
Bobo.
It's the Bobo, the baby bark boy. Uh-oh. He heard something. Did you hear somebody bark? Did another dog bark? Do you need to go check on that? See what that's about? Yeah. All right. Oh, go get him. And he's gone. As I was about to press the go live button and swap over, he just came running up to me. How's everybody doing? What's happening? My name is Waldo, and I am here to feel the politics with you, and then play a video game. And maybe we get interrupted by cute, adorable little dogs. That is the entire stream. Hope you're here for it. That's my thing. Maybe it could be your thing too. So, what is today?
Hi,
Today,
Waldo.
hi KBP, how you doing? Today is Saturday. Ooh, I got some Crimbus presents. You guys want to see some Crimbus presents I got? Let's see. Uh, what do we got? We got some cool little disc plate things. So look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at that. That's super cool. And it's metal. Very nice. Not sponsored, by the way, by Displate. Sponsor me, Displate. What do you do? What are you waiting on? I could be showing off super cool things like this, and that's gonna hang on my wall. Oops. And then I got a bigger one over here. Ah, and there's a good one. Look at the size of this thing. This is great. Look at that. See a space cowboy. And I'll put that up on the
Thanks,
wall.
not a psychotic clown.
No, no, not a psychotic clown this time. The psychotic clown is over here, though. I've had that one for a couple of years now. Let me get the psychotic clown down here. You want to see a psychotic clown? Here he is. He's over here, behind the psychotic clown. Yay, psychotic clowns! Hooray! So it is true that I ordered when I heard about Display, I went to them and I looked at their website and I found this one with Kefka and I bought it immediately. And then what happened? That might fall off later. So if there's a loud crash later, it's because this has fallen off. It is barely held onto the wall. They're pretty good with the magnets, but some reason my wall sucks at holding the magnets to it. So it's a thing. I know, riveting content while I'm way over here, not on camera, talking to you. But yeah, I went to a Comic-Con style event in Washington, and I was looking at stuff, and I got this, and I bought this psychotic clown right here. You can see him. Here he is. Very cool. That doesn't come off the wall. Uh, this psychotic clown, and then as I was walking around, I saw more psychotic clowns, and I was like, ooh, I want that one too. And I was like, wait. Two, well, I mean, one psychotic clown on your walls is like cool. Two starts a trend, doesn't it? And if you got three, well, that's a straight up uh, psychotic. That's an obsession. You got three psychotic clowns on your walls. That's an obsession. You go from cool to trend to obsession. And I was looking at buying one, and I thought I'd hang it on the wall, and then I'd have three psychotic clowns on my wall. It says a lot about me, I suppose. And
2 cheers for crazy wall art.
two cheers for crazy wall art, not three, because that would be obsessive. Good call, KVP. Very good call. So yeah, the psychotic clowns are here. I got the new displays. I'll hang those up over in this area behind the camera someday. I might put it down
That would
low.
make you a juggalo.
That would make me a juggalo. That I would be getting dangerously close to juggalo territory, and that is a place I don't think that I want to go. Um, I don't particularly like the soda. What's it called? Fago? Yeah, I don't care for it. So I guess I'm right out. That's okay. Uh, we'll keep it to two. We'll be borderline juggalo. Is that
Makeup
it?
is too expensive.
That stuff is expensive. And then I would look silly, and I'd have to wash it off, and yeah, it's not a thing. It'd get all in my chest hair. It wouldn't be a good time. Not fun. So that is the Christmas time. Did you guys have good Crimbus? Hooray for Crimbus! How'd it go? Did anybody Celebrate the birth of Santa. Was it
It was
exciting?
a tome.
It was a tome. Well, that's good. Let me finish setting up
Time.
for the stream stuff. We've got. So, if you're watching, come on in, give us a chat. Every time you chat, you get points, and then you can use those points to roll and play fun
Points.
little
At
games.
KBP24 has 7,084 points.
Yeah, this guy, KBP, has the most points. Do you think you can beat him? I don't think you can. He flaunts this stuff all over town. The
Gamble
man
100. At
cruises.
KBP24 dice roll result 1 you lost the bet.
He runs around all over town, bragging about how many points he has on Waldo's stream. Most people don't know what he's talking about. Also, if you throw emotes in chat, they appear on the screen. Very fun. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Everybody loves it. And then they appear, and then I play with them, and we have a good time. So, come on in, have a good time. And if you want to follow me, you can do so at the YouTube.
YouTube. https www.youtubecom at Waldo Videos. Check out Waldo's videos https www.youtubecom at Waldo Videos.
See, I just won the lottery because the robot lady does this when I type YouTube, but she does this every like 20 or 30 messages or something like that. So I happen to win the real slot machine right there. So,
Robot Lady Chatty today.
the robot lady is very chatty today. It's true. She's on one today. It's cool. Uh, so what are we going to do? We are going to look at the politics. We're going to feel them out together. We're going to figure out what's going on, and then we're going to play a new video game. Since apparently I'm in love with Survivor Like, so we're going to play Death Must Die, and I've installed it, though I have not powered it up and played it yet. So we'll do that, and it will be fun. Come for the politics, stay for the terribly difficult, stay for the difficult gameplay. Uh, because I am the world's #1 Halls of Torment streamer. It is a very important distinction that makes me different from all the other streamers. Just kidding. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the politics news. If you are interested
joke.
in hot take, yeah, if you are Halls of Torment take, yeah, brilliant. Um, if you have a news story and you want to tell it about it and see it on the
Discord.
screen,
https discord gg beignet tridix 8.
throw it into the Discord and I will look at it and we will take a look and see how we feel about it together. So, what is happening today? Let's swap over to this screen, then bring up this thing, then press, oops, not that button, a different button. Window capture right here, and then we scroll down to that one, and then bam. All right. I'm so good at streaming, except that it's a little crooked. Let's put it right there. All right. Maine disqualifies Trump from presidential primary ballot, citing insurrection clause. There's another one. This is it. It's happening. He's been removed from a second state's ballot, kind of. The move comes days after Colorado Supreme Court removes Trump from state primary ballot for the same reason. So now we've got Maine and Colorado. Maine has blocked Donald Trump from its presidential primary ballot, becoming the second state to bar the former president from running under a constitutional provision that prevents insurrectionists from holding office. Maine Secretary of State Shayna Bellows examined the case after a group of citizens challenged Trump's eligibility to concluded that the former president should be disqualified for inciting an insurrection on January 6, 2021. She said, "I do not reach this conclusion lightly. I am mindful that no Secretary of State has ever deprived a presidential candidate of ballot access based on the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. I'm also mindful, however, that no presidential candidate has ever before engaged in insurrection." That's the important bit there. Bloop. no presidential candidate has ever before engaged in insurrection, which he did. So, is this new and unprecedented ground? Yes. Why do we have to do the new and unprecedented things? Well, because Trump is new and unprecedented. He does things that nobody else has ever done before. No other person running for office has done an insurrection. Well, maybe no other person running for president has ever done an insurrection. So yeah, there's going to be new court cases. There's going to be new issues. Hey, you're one step ahead of me. Well, we're going to get to that in just a moment. Shinzento, that is definitely happening. So let's see. He's the current runner. They have said, this is from Trump's friend, make no mistake, these partisan election interference efforts are a hostile assault on American democracy. Also accusing Bellows of being a virulent leftist. God, I wish that this was a true statement. I really do. Right here. A virulent leftist. I would love for that to be true. It's not, but I wish it were. Um, Partisan election interference. Well, if reading the Constitution and then applying it as a partisan election interference, the Republicans aren't pro-Constitution. They're not. They're not for it. They don't like it. It doesn't matter if what it says. They just need to feel like they're part of it. They feel like reading the Constitution and applying it evenly is against them. And it is. That might be more than a feeling. It might be like law. It might be coming into play there. Unlike in other states, Bellows, who oversees elections in Maine, was required to make an initial determination about disqualification before it was considered by the courts, because each state has a handful of different laws. We have 50 different laws, about putting people onto a ballot. Bellows has suspended the effect of her decision until the state's highest court rules on any appeal. So she has said, yes, he is not allowed to be on there, though I know it will be appealed, so I'm going to wait. The decision, if it takes effect, would apply on the state's March primary.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay!
Hey, we got a follower. Thanks for following. I appreciate it. You just turned a frog gay. Sorry, you did. Whose name was it? Starscream77. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm a little streamer, so every little bit counts, and you are a big part of my little stream. I appreciate it. Let's see, what have we got? We've got both Maine and Colorado are Democratic-leaning states, which means Joe Biden will likely win in both. However, the Maine has just 4 electoral votes. It's one of 2 states that splits them. Trump won one of Maine's electors in 2020. So this has removed Trump's one possible electoral vote. He lost by several in 2020, and he didn't lose by several. He lost by a few, but not that many. The winner-take-all electoral college votes are very strange, and I don't really appreciate them. But the idea that there is now possibly one fewer that Trump could even get, that makes a difference. All of a sudden, this matters. And why did the person in Maine do it? This is an important question right here. It's answered. Both the Maine and Colorado decisions are based on the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which bans from office those who engaged in insurrection. The provision, which has instituted after a civil war, was intended to prevent Confederates from retaking power. Legal scholars have argued that the clause should apply to Trump because of the role he took on in the 2020 presidential election to obstruct the peaceful transfer of power. The clause has rarely been used and has not previously been tested on the office of the presidency, which is why it's new, unfounded, nobody's ever done it before. So, very new stuff, very exciting. Then we've got a interview from this Secretary of State. Maine Secretary of State explains her reasons for barring Trump from the primary ballot. So why did you do it? Well, I know why she did it. She read the Constitution, then applied it. But apparently, that's partisan hackery if it hurts a Republican. Let's see. What does she say, though? The interview was restricted to a discussion of her ruling and the process, leaving unanswered questions about the risks of her potential safety. In the wake of the Colorado Supreme Court's ruling to disqualify Trump from holding office, the Colorado justices, blah, blah, blah. Let's hear what she has to say. In evaluating the weight of the evidence, it was made clear that Mr. Trump was aware of the tinder that he had laid in a multi-month effort to delegitimize the 2020 election, and that he chose to light the match. Okay? The U.S. Constitution does not tolerate an assault on the foundations of our government, and Maine election law requires me to act in response. See, that just makes sense. The events of January 6th were unprecedented and tragic, and it was an assault, not only by the Capitol and the government officials, including the former Vice President and members of Congress, but on the rule of law itself. Yes, Mr. Trump engaged in that insurrection and thereby is not qualified to be on the ballot. Correct. Read the law, apply the law. That if you read the law and apply the law, and the Republicans are outside the law, they're not allowed to be on the ballot. That's it. That's all there is. They're going to scream about this being political, but it's a political job. He's a politician who runs in a voting poll. So yes, it is political. Republicans don't use that word properly. They don't use the word correctly. Anything they don't like is political. If if Trump breaks the law and isn't allowed on the ballot, that's political. Why are you making everything political? Because they don't know what the word means. They don't care what it means. It doesn't matter what what the law says. Republicans operate on feelings alone. Only feelings. They feel like Donald Trump should be on that ballot, so he should be. If there's a law preventing him, that law is political. They use the word, that's my new thing. Anytime a Republican says it, they're political. I'm going to do it like that so that we know. Oops. Let's get on here and let's see if there's anything else going on here. Here she continues. In Maine, we're very proud of our voting rights. We were the first in the nation. They always talk about that. In 2022 with voter participation, and we have a statute that makes me different from any other state that I have observed. My obligation under Maine state law is to issue a decision very quickly. I am not permitted under Maine law to wait for the United States Supreme Court to intervene in this particular proceeding. She's literally following the laws. There's a lot of words that they use as ad libs for things they don't like. Yeah, exactly. Woke is the other one, but political has been the one I've been seeing for the past couple of weeks. Let's see. We are witnessing in real time the attempted theft of an election and the disenfranchisement of an American voter, he added. This is from Trump's spokesperson. So Trump's spokesperson is saying he should be on there. Obviously, well, I mean, he's paid by Trump to do so. Bellows, again, the woman who removed him from the ballot, has said, I take the Constitution very seriously. I swear an oath to uphold it. I take the First Amendment very seriously, Bellows said. Trump has argued that he cannot be disqualified from the presidency over conduct surrounding the 2020 election of January 6 because his speech is protected by the First Amendment. Yes, your speech is, but the actions you took were illegal. The things, not every single word is protected by the First Amendment. You are not allowed to harm people with your speech. You're not allowed to dox people. You're not allowed to foment violence. You're not allowed to threaten people with your speech. Donald Trump does not, let's see. Oops, I wasn't on the right screen. Damn it. Donald Trump does not protect the First Amendment. He doesn't defend it. He hides behind it. When it's beneficial to him, he throws bombs from behind it. He hides behind the First Amendment like a bunker. He hides behind it and throws out bombs. And when somebody tries to stop him and suggest, hey, the thing you did is illegal, that bomb, you're not allowed to throw that. Oh, I'm behind the First Amendment. First Amendment protects me. It's nonsense. He doesn't protect it. He hides behind it. If you really loved the Constitution, you'd defend it. You'd protect it, not hide behind it while lobbing verbal bombs at other people that you don't like and call it political. Yeah, Bork boys are back. Bork, 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 bork. The right Thomas, hello. Thanks for hopping in. Let's see. So, I gotta scoot this over so we can seize it. It's a good thing I'm such a terrible streamer. All right. Let's see, main screen. There we go. So let's see, there's more. Uh, Trump also presented the defense that the 14th Amendment does not apply to the presidency, citing an early draft of Section 3 that referred to the office of the president or vice president, but was not included in the final adopted language as evidence that it was intentionally removed or excluded those offices. That could be an argument, but that's way down in the legal weeds. That's um, really deep within the legal weeds. Thomas is in the Discord. Oh my goodness. We're going to see if he has any ideas about this. And I'm going to swap over here. And then we're going to hop into the Discord channel. And we should have a very special guest for this very important day. I am in the Discord. Are you in the Discord? I cannot hear you if you are. Let me double check my settings. It could be my uh, Discord settings. My Discord settings change all the time because of the children that play with my computer. They use it for playing games and stuff. It's madness. What kind
Hello.
of maniac? Hey, I hear. Did you say hello?
I did.
Okay. Hey, KBP, can you hear Thomas talking? We'll wait patiently and hope that he hears you. Perfect. Fantastic. Let me know.
Nice.
Let me know if I need to up his volume because I play with the volume all the time because of the videos that come through. As you're cruising around the internet, the videos often cause the volume to go up and down.
Ah, yes, I saw you were streaming and woke up in time
Oh,
to make it here.
oh,
So,
good. I'm glad you're here. We hadn't talked in a little while, but
yeah,
you
it's been a minute.
apparently you have some sort of real life that I've heard about. Um, I don't have one of
Yes,
those, but
yes, and I've been sick for like 3 months almost now.
mm,
Crazy.
the long COVID. It's brutal.
Yeah, they say it's a sinus infection. So if
Okay,
I
okay.
cough while I'm on the stream, you'll have to forgive me.
Okay, okay. No problem. I can always edit those out of the videos. But so yeah, have you seen the news?
I have.
Would you tell us what you think? Because I've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now. But
You're talking about Trump being off the ballot
Colorado and
in a
Maine,
couple of states. Yeah,
Colorado,
Colorado.
Maine, and
Hi, KBP.
I hadn't gotten to it yet. But we have also, let me bring up my screen here. They're questioning it in North Carolina. And Alaska has considered it. Get out of here, pop up. Alaska considers joining Colorado and disqualifying Trump from primary ballot, and then a Louisiana woman has filed a suit to do the same. So um, a lot of these may get shot down, but the fact that we're at 5 states now, and maybe more, 2 that have actually removed them, Maine and Colorado, but 3 more that are thinking about it.
Yeah, I think it'll be overturned in every state actually. It probably goes up in the Supreme Court,
Well, yeah, it's definitely headed
uh,
that way. Yeah.
and it'll be just blanket by the Supreme Court, either allowed or rejected.
hmm
But I suspect that the Supreme Court will just allow it,
Uh,
or
uh,
not allow the ban, allow him to be on the ballot.
okay, they will suggest that through what mechanism? That it doesn't specifically say president or something along those lines?
Um, on the grounds that he hasn't been convicted of insurrection.
It doesn't require conviction. When it was used historically on the people from the Confederacy, none of them were tried and convicted of being a Confederate. Simply put, they were rebelling against the country, and that was enough. They were not convicted of anything. That is one of the arguments that the legal weenies are using.
Huh. interesting.
It doesn't, yeah, the 14th Amendment, Section 3 doesn't include the word or the wording of conviction. It doesn't say person convicted of this. It just says anyone involved in. I think it uses the word involved. Let me double check it real quick. But I'm pretty sure it uses just the word involved, which is why these courts feel like they can do it. They are looking at it and saying, yeah, that's kind of what it says here.
Hmm.
All right, so we've got no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of president or vice president or hold any office. Now this is where the semantics come in. Civilian or military under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or a member of any state, so it's, you can click on it to extend it a little bit longer. Or, let's see. And this is the other legal part, the word officer of the United States, or as any member of the state legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, or to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged, doesn't say convicted, just says engaged, in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof, but Congress may vote 2/3 in each house to remove such a disability. So it's not ironclad. I mean, the Congress will
No,
not vote two
certainly not.
thirds to keep him. They will not.
No, they won't. Well, actually, maybe he could probably get maybe 1/3 or 2/5.
Yeah,
But not 2/3 certainly.
yeah. I don't think
But
McConnell
I
likes him
don't.
that much.
Well, I don't think that
So we,
it's. I don't think that it's ironclad in either direction, really.
right. That's the
Given that
problem.
wording,
As usual,
is sort of a problem. Yeah.
yeah. There are two different semantic arguments here. Hold any office is the president an office that you hold. I mean, it's called the office of the president of the United States, but then but he's not an officer. It's very complicated. The one letter right here, this R right here. I think the entire argument depends on that one letter because Trump's very stupid lawyers are going to argue that Donald Trump didn't take an oath as an officer of the United States. That's what they're going to say. He did take an oath to the presidential office, but not as an officer. So that one R right there
Well, I think
is going
that
to be their entire argument.
I don't think that's the case at all. I think there's a couple of spots where they could take an argument. Um, there is that one.
Mhm.
I think that's actually weaker than shall have engaged in insurrection being being part of it.
Mm.
I mean, the dude was on Twitter. Like, he wasn't part of the January 6th riot in front of the Capitol building. So
He wanted to
didn't
be.
engage
He tried to
in
be
it.
many times. He said, "Take me to the Capitol building," and then the Secret Service refused to do it. He told them to march up there. Then they did. He was giving direction to them. He was calling several election officials, telling them not to certify the election. He was telling Mike Pence, "Do not certify this election. Do not count these electors."
Sure.
I think all of those
And
things
I know he was,
together
but
creates a conspiracy to overthrow the correct and legitimate 2020 results.
okay, but that's not the same thing as being one of the people that broke into the Capitol building.
No, but he is the ringleader engaging in an insurrection. He is by making. I would suggest that just by making the phone call to those election officials, he has engaged in an insurrection.
Mm,
The election
that's
officials
definitely,
have
I would
a
call that a stretch.
okay. Um,
But I think that
Insurrection
that's the
is a
spot
complicated.
where
Yeah, and that
um,
is where they're going to argue. I think you're right.
they're probably. Yeah, I would imagine that rather than using the officer word, it'd be probably he didn't engage in anything. And then there was I would call them some CYA activities he did after
Mhm.
the fact and maybe during. He was like everybody. He put out a video, if you recall, during the Capitol riot that was like everybody go home, and that's what they'll point to is yeah, stop it,
That's
don't do this, go
and
home.
that's so disingenuous, though, isn't it? That seems disingenuous to me, but that is what they will do. I mean, stab
I'm
people,
yeah,
kill
exactly.
people,
I'm
and
just telling you
then
what they're gonna
I know.
do,
Yeah, you're right.
and it's I'm gonna tell you. I bet you it stands as
You think at 6-3 we get all the uh, conservative-ish justices say he's allowed, and then 3 of them say that he's not?
I would be surprised if it split exactly down the line again on this one.
Okay.
Um, I well, I'll throw out a prediction.
Mhm.
Either direction that it goes, it'll be unanimous.
You think so?
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. That is a bold prediction. I like it. I appreciate it. I'm thinking 6-3. I really do. I really think it's 6-3 that he is uh, allowed on the ballot, and they'll use the lawyerly language that you've been mentioning and the things that I was thinking about to suggest that he is not, the state isn't allowed to take him off, especially with so much support and stuff like that. Then what? The other court case, because he's got 3 things coming up to the Supreme Court. He really does. That one, the immunity, and what was that third one? Remember, I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but the immunity thing. Have you heard about this one? Trump immunity. He is
Um,
claiming to
refresh me
be,
on it. I'm sure
he's
I've heard.
claiming that all the actions he took while president, he is immune from prosecution.
Hmm. Which
And
actions is he referring to?
literally everything and anything. Um, presidential immunity. Uh, Supreme Court's latest Trump decision may be bad news for him. Yeah. Legally, the question of presidential immunity from a criminal prosecution is not a tough one. Yeah, he is claiming to be immune from just about everything because he was the president, and you can't con- convict the president in a court of law or something like that. He's gonna say like he's way off the he's way out of line. But what he's going to do is say that Jack Smith isn't allowed to prosecute or indict him.
Huh.
That's what he's going to tell
I think
us.
that'll be shot down.
I think it will be shot down. Here's the interesting bit. I don't know if you watched my Lawrence O'Donnell video a couple of weeks ago, but the presidential immunity is been settled. It's settled. It's not up in the air. We know for sure that Kavanaugh in the late 90s wrote 30 pages about how you can absolutely convict a president after they're out of the office. 100%. And he laid it down black
Oh,
and
I did
white,
see that. Yeah.
no way around it. Like Kavanaugh put that shit in hard language.
Yep.
As soon as the president is gone, you can and should and shall, I think he used the word shall, uh, prosecute him for all his crimes. You know, he was talking about Bill Clinton, obviously, but I want to see him if he flip flops. I really do. I want to see if he
Well,
goes back on
that would
that.
be
I don't
interesting.
want him to. I
It
don't
would
want him to,
be.
but
I definitely think that if he flip flops, it would be a good case for proving the bias that justices have,
right, and
or the lack thereof.
or the lack
I
thereof. Yes,
definitely suspect that this one will also be unanimous,
I think you're right. I think
and it will end up being unanimously. Yes, he can be prosecuted.
yes, he can. Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to come down at 9-0. Yes, he can be prosecuted. This is going to. That one's going to get weird on Truth Social, because I am just making broad generalizations about Donald Trump's mental state, but I think that he thinks these are his judges.
Oh, he is. He will freak the fuck out when it goes against him on this one. Yeah.
Right. On the immunity one,
And yeah, he's
and
not going to be happy,
he's not
and
gonna
he may he may even return to Twitter or X on this one because he was unbanned, but
X,
refused
formerly
to come
Twitter,
back.
which is its full name.
Yes.
That's what it's called now. X, formerly Twitter.
Right. The
You have to
artist formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, you have to say the whole thing, like a pimp named
Right.
Slickback. You have to say the whole thing. Uh, so yeah, I think the immunity one. So that's a second one. Then there's a third one that's about. What was the third one about? Hey, chat. What was the third one about? So I have forgotten now. Regardless, it's not as big and important. Um, so 3 big cases coming up in the Supreme Court. Okay, let's keep on the prediction train. 9-0. Thomas is correct. 9-0. They all say that he is prosecutable. He is not immune, though they also say 9-0 that he is allowed on the Colorado ballot. I think that's the most peaceful situation. I really do. What happens if he's not allowed on those ballots? What do you think?
Well, the first thing is that it's is it specific to the primary ballots? Because that's what I see in all the articles when I look it up. Is
right, because
he's
not.
been.
Here's the issue. This is also why they didn't do this 4 years ago. The courts have fucking standing, you know? In 2021, no one is on the primary ballot, which means you can't sue to have somebody not on the primary ballot, right? It hasn't been made yet. So now that the primary ballots are being made and they're putting names on there, that's the only time you can sue about it, which is silly. The regular ballots, there are no names on there, 0 names on there. So you cannot sue or bring up in court who isn't on the ballot. You have to wait until they're like being created, honestly. So the reason this is only primary is because those are the only ballots that exist right now. As soon as the regular ballots exist, there might be more. There might be more of these cases.
So there will be more, so I guess it'll be very interesting because this is going to settle the score, because if they overturn banning him from the primary ballots in these states, then of course they'll overturn.
Absolutely. Yes.
Banning him from the actual
yes.
the actual ballot.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That will happen.
I think that that banning from the primary ballots is actually a weaker case. They probably should have waited. And the reason I say that is because the primaries are for political parties, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah, they're like a corporation.
Can nominate whoever they want, but
right.
if they happen to nominate a criminal or somebody that is ineligible to hold office, like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
right?
Then of course he can be on a primary ballot, but it makes no sense for him to be on the electoral ballot.
Yeah, it's a murky and weird situation where like states have different rules for primaries than they do the general and stuff like that.
Right.
So it is a legal mush. It's legally ugly. So I think the Supreme Court will make this decision, and I think they will come down to 6-3. You're saying 9-0, and that's fine. The outcome's the same, honestly. And he will be on those ballots. I think he will. I think they'll come down on that side.
Yeah, and I do think that this actually weakens the case. If they had waited until the actual election ballots, your case is stronger than the primary.
Maybe, but
ballots.
It's also far more chaotic because he won Super Tuesday. He has the delegates in the system. The people have already spoken. You run the risk of removing him after he's already won a few contests. I think that's more difficult. That's more dangerous. That's more chaotic and could lead to more
Yeah, oh, you're right. I
more
totally agree.
upset and riots.
More upset and riots, more chaos. Yes. I think it's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that
It's
that's
the
not true. I'm just
it's the
saying that
best way.
I
Okay.
think the legal case is stronger
Okay.
uh, on the electoral ballot rather than
Hmm. Okay.
the primary ballot.
Okay.
That's all I was saying
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
I
It could
totally
be.
agree with you
Could be.
that to do it on as early as you can is it's a move. It's a strategic one.
Mhm.
There are pros and cons on both sides. I just think the legal argument is stronger for doing it once you have the electoral ballot.
Okay. Cool. So let's real quick. I hadn't read this about North Carolina yet. Uh, North Carolina decision to remove him was appealed on Friday, which means that's still going to go up. So um, should be again. This will go to the Supreme Court. And now that there are like 5 states doing it, this is the only thing the Supreme Court is supposed to be doing. Like this is the most important thing they do. Is we've got 5 different states saying 5 different answers. Well, 50 different states having 2 different answers. So that's the thing that they're supposed to do is make this decision. Alaska considers it, and Alaska and North Carolina, both red states. So it makes a difference to his overall electoral count. If it were just, I know, and as stupid as that sounds, it wouldn't get to a point where we're actually in an election and he wasn't on the Colorado ballot. I don't think we're ever going to get to that point where there actually is a presidential election, but he is just not on the Colorado ballot. I don't think we get that far. I think the Supreme Court steps in way before that. So
Oh yeah.
that's not an issue. We don't have to do new electoral math where he's not on it. As much as maybe 538 and Nate Silver would like to. I don't think we will get to that point.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's the strongest candidate now.
Yeah.
As much as I like DeSantis,
Mm-hmm.
he fucked his own campaign in a lot of ways. Very unfortunate. But I think Trump is the only guy with a chance at winning at this point.
Yeah, I think that he is, as strange as he's not like a charismatic kind of guy, and that shows when he's on the
Yeah.
stage and he smiles weird. I get it, man. You know what's hard? Looking into a camera and smiling and I get it. It's difficult. It's not easy. Performance is very difficult. I'm not even any good at it, and I shouldn't be doing it. That's why nobody pays me for it. But like he's
Well,
real
you've
bad
gotten
at
a
it.
lot better with practice. I'll tell you that much.
It does take practice, and I'm doing a lot better now. But yeah, it's not easy.
This might be the first stream I've joined. I even joined impromptu that we didn't have audio issues with.
Yeah, and I almost had some last week. Shinseto was trolling me last week. He didn't have his headphones on or something like that, and he's telling me that it wasn't there, and then I go crazy trying to find it, tearing my sad little hair out, and yeah, it was a whole thing. But yeah, I tried. You like those? Do you? I've been goofing with the stream.
Ooh,
I put the talking lady. I put the little banner. Got this little banner down here, and then the emotes bounce around. It's very fun. So
that is very fun.
every week I
There,
put a little bit of something into it.
you know what you should do
What's
is
that?
the you tried.
Hmm.
Is there like a bits sort of deal on Kick?
Once I get maybe a few hundred more followers, yeah.
Okay. Once you do that,
Hmm.
is there a way to customize the way that it bounces around the screen?
Maybe. Is there something you? At the
Okay,
moment, it's
okay,
just
okay. So
It's regular. It's
here's
just a bit random.
here's
Seems.
my my suggestion
Hmm.
is once the stream gets a lot bigger,
Hmm.
if it's possible to customize how it bounces around the screen like that, right?
Hmm.
You know how as a kid you saw it bounce like remember the VCR like the screensaver that bounced around the screen, right? once in like every 100 or so of these things, if you make it a bits thing,
Hmm.
make it so that it will be a perfect bounce in a corner.
Perfect corner bounce. Okay, I will.
Right? Because that's what everybody loves, right? And
Did you
everybody goes, "Oh, poggers."
perfect corner bounce? So yeah,
Yes.
the perfect corner bounces might be possible with these, but only if you're lucky, which means we need lots more emotes. So, uh,
Yes.
uh,
Lots more emotes.
lots more emotes. Okay, brilliant. I'm on to you. It's a good strategy. I like it. Uh, so yeah, that's been the stream, and
Yes. Bit baiting the right way, baby.
1 in every 1,000 gets exactly in the perfect corner, and I
Exactly.
tell people
Yes.
that. But listen, 1 in every 1,000
A
gets
perfect
exactly in.
corner.
You're gonna have to perfect corner. Uh, are you gonna be the person that gets that perfect corner? Guess you have to donate and find out. Yeah,
Exactly. You gotta buy
I gotta.
some emotes there.
Yeah, have you seen the slot machine?
I've not.
So KBP, every time somebody chats in the chat, they get 5 points, and KBP just played the slot machine. So he
Ooh.
lost 50 points because he's
Oh.
terrible at slot machines. Don't worry, he has like 7,000 more. Uh, so
Ah, yes.
if you just type in exclamation points, it'll tell you how many points you have. And now he's gambling 100 points. And he got
He
half his
just
bet
lost
back.
another 50.
He lost 50 more,
Oh
yeah.
no.
But he's still in the lead. And he uses that for street cred. He tells people all over the place, like, how much is he? Like, this one, that's a weird little one. You can barely see it down there. Little green one. It gets stuck down there. I'm not entirely sure why. I still need to work on those a little bit. But yeah, street cred, most points. Very very impressive. He tells random strangers at the supermarket, "Hey, I have the most points in Waldo's chat," and they quietly back away from him, as they should.
Huh. Well, it's good advertising, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's he's advertising for me. It's very nice. So yeah, I think you're right. Ron DeSantis is out.
Or else.
So, U.S. Supreme Court officially asked to take up Trump's 14th Amendment issue. Colorado's High Court ruled Trump was disqualified from the ballot earlier this month, so they are going to take it up. They didn't say when. I thought it would be before January 5th, which is when their primary ballots have to be made by. But it does. We already know all this, but I'm trying to figure out when they're going to do it.
I mean, it has to be expedited, right? I mean, it can't
It
just
has to be,
it
right?
can't just wait. Um, they'll take it up, and I think the ruling will be 9-0.
Okay.
Whether which direction they go, I I suspect they'll allow him to be on the ballots. Um, or I'd rather say expect that he'll be on the ballots. But
Hmm. Yeah. According to this,
I
he
think that
is going to be on the Colorado, even the Colorado ballot. He's going to be on the Colorado ballot unless the Supreme Court comes in like immediately before Jan 5th and says no, he cannot be on there, which isn't going to happen. And I think you're right that this won't happen. So, uh, yeah. So it's most likely that he will be. And what are you popping up at me? Let's see what other newsy things we had to do. I was gonna scream about DeSantis
oh,
saying he would fire Jack Smith on day one if elected. He's not.
which one's Jack Smith?
He's the very spooky guy that used to prosecute people at The Hague for war crimes. He's running the federal side. He's the special counsel for uh, the federal side of the DOJ.
Okay.
He's the one with the 91 felony counts against Trump. He's running that.
Yes, yes. Okay. Well, um, that DeSantis is playing the whole election wrong.
You think so?
Yeah. He is behaving like he's playing for the vice president role with Trump, while
Mm-hmm.
at the same time having already torpedoed his chances of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he's fucked.
I agree. He's running for vice president. That's what he's doing.
No, I mean he can. Trump hates him.
I know.
He's he's not gonna be the vice president, and
yeah.
he's torpedoed his chances at that already by other things he said.
Mm-hmm.
And what did Trump call him? Rhonda Sanctimonious.
Yeah, not quite
He's
catchy.
he's already had a
but,
nickname. Trump's not taking him as the vice president, and he should have taken the Chris Christie route.
Chris Christie is running for president. He is. He's shooting at the guy in the lead.
Yes,
that's what you do.
Exactly. I mean, DeSantis should have been taking the kind of shots that Christie has been taking the whole time. But he's doing this weird, like I said, he's torpedoed his chances. His campaign is a disaster.
Okay, I agree with his sentence here. Though. DeSantis accuses Smith of weaponizing the legal system.
Do you?
From the other direction, though, I think the legal system is weaponized against criminals, and Donald Trump's a criminal. So yes, true statement. It is weaponized against Trump, but that's because Trump's a criminal. He breaks the law regularly. So yes, DOJ is weaponized against people who break the law. But I agree with him in a horseshoe theory kind of thing, from the other direction. I mean, that's the DOJ is supposed to be weaponized against criminals, right?
Both sides think that the media is slanted too far in the opposite direction. So
that's probably true. Yeah, maybe from a capitalist
conservatives
direction,
think that
the lamestream media, the left, and they're all in charge. Yeah.
Conservatives think that the left is in charge of all the mainstream media, and then of course liberals or lefties think that the media is too far to the right. So.
Only because it's based on profit. I don't think that most of the media is right wing. I think most of the media wants to make money, and in doing so, they will bolster the very tiny opinions that somebody on the right has, as if it were completely and totally even on both sides. 99% of climate scientists agree that climate change is happening, but 1% doesn't. But what do you see on the media? You see a 1v1 debate. Should be a 99v1 debate. So they are inflating that 1%. They're inflating the small things to make money. And one side is more interested in money, and it's not the left.
No, I think that the debate itself draws viewers, and I mean, I think that the debate is just in the wrong place.
Okay.
But
which way the news leans? I could understand that.
Oh, I was talking about the climate thing.
Yeah, I know. I was only using that as an example. Sorry, I didn't want to veer severely off topic with that one. Let's see. Valiant Thor attempting to take the leading candidate off the ballot is fascist, by the way. I'm a Democrat. Okay, great. Well, what if he's legally not allowed to be on the ballot? Valiant Thor. What if he's legally not allowed to be there? We have laws, If he were 32 years old and leading in the polls, he would legally not be allowed to be on that ballot. I'm arguing with chat now. Sorry.
No. So, go ahead. I think that's fine. I mean, I agree.
With the legal argument, or that it's fascist?
Right, with the legal argument.
Okay. I figured you would, but they have to prove it in court first, right?
Okay, I mean, I'm a law and order guy.
Okay.
The the thing about candidates on my side
Mhm.
is that everyone runs on Law and Order.
They
So how
claim
can I
to.
not be a Law and Order guy?
Yeah,
Right.
I think you're a minority, honestly, within the right wing. That's why I like talking to you. Um, I think that you actually do pay attention to law and order and stuff like that. And a lot of the, let's say, less cerebral members of the Republican right just feel the way they feel, and they call it law and order. Let's see. It all makes sense whenever a Democrat says our democracy, they mean our power. You can't possibly claim to protect democracy by denying people the right to pick their representatives. That law, if he broke the law and isn't allowed on those ballots, then you don't allow him on the ballot. These are law cases. This isn't Valiant Thor. This is not somebody kicking in the door and burning all the ballots with his name on it. This is actually court cases going in, looking at the law, reading the Constitution, and coming to a decision. Yeah, more in the middle. Okay, cool. Well, there are people
Well,
who have read the
I mean,
Constitution and said this applies to Donald Trump and he cannot be on these ballots. And it's going to
like
the
I
Supreme
said,
Court. This is the correct
the
process.
Supreme Court is going to 9-0 this. It's going to
And
be
that is the
9-0.
right process.
They're going to say he's allowed on the ballot.
And if and when they say that,
There.
I will also accept it because that is the correct process. I
Yes.
won't bemoan it 2 years from now. I won't sit and complain. And if and when he wins in 24, I won't say, well, he wasn't even allowed on the ballot. It's not good. It makes you into like a Hillary fan. We don't like those. Nobody likes those. Uh, uh, so I'm going to put the let's see. What's the kick link into the YouTube chat. Valiant Thor, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate your stuff, but the best chat is on Kick. Just is. So I'm going to put that there in the YouTube chat. I should do this on a regular basis, I think, so that people can get into the good chat, you know? Starscream is here too. Hello. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I totally agree, Starscream. What a shame the GOP cannot or will not field a better candidate or set of candidates. Yeah. Politics is depressing for me nowadays. I thought DeSantis was the candidate, the guy that was gonna handle business, I guess you could say, this year, but his candidacy has been he torpedoed himself, trying to play both sides, and it hasn't gone well.
Yeah, it has not gone well for him. Let's see. Nikki Haley says she'd pardon Trump as president if she wins, and honestly, she's not high on my list, but she's higher on my list than uh, DeSantis and Trump and Vivek. Like I don't.
So
I think she's
I
more
think
of a.
that Nikki Haley is the front runner for VP for Trump.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think she's going to be the pick. And the ballot will be Trump and Haley versus Biden and Kamala again.
Mm-hmm. She said, if found guilty, a leader needs to think about what's in the best interest for the country. What's in the best interest of the country is not having an 80-year-old man sitting in jail that continues to divide our country. What's in the best interest of our country would be to pardon him so that we can move on as a country and no longer talk about him. All right, well, I don't no longer talk about him. He gets like the most airtime and he gets the most sorry, I didn't have that on screen. I'm going to be a good streamer someday, you guys. I promise. The only way to make me better is to like, share, and subscribe. But yes, I don't think it's no longer talk about him. The media loves talking about him. I like talking about him. That's where most of my views come from, is yelling about Trump. I recognize it, but I think it's because it's important.
Well, yeah, I mean, Nikki Haley is a contender for second place, I suppose. And the thing is that she sides with Trump on everything, even if she talks a little bit out of both sides of her mouth.
Mhm.
And I think that she ends up as the VP pick.
Okay. I thought it was
She's playing it very safe
for about a week. For about a week, I thought it was Vivek the fake.
No,
But
it could never be him.
It's not going to be him. Yeah.
No, if Trump had picked him, then he would have Trump and VP Trump on the ballot, which is not palatable to a lot of people. I think that there are a couple of advantages to having Nikki Haley. The first is you got the female VP,
Mhm.
And then you have someone that I think Nikki Haley's actually pretty well liked by the mainstream Republican.
Yeah, I agree. She's a lot more
Public?
appealing than most of the people up on that stage, and that is and that's why they picked Pence, because he was a moderate, middle of the road, well-known person that people liked. That's why they picked Joe
I thought
Biden.
Pence was picked. Pence was picked as a
to even it out.
Well, as a to galvanize the religious vote
And the religious,
Christian.
yeah. See, so you need
that was
you need to shore up the
me.
place that you're weakest. So you pick Haley to shore up your women. You pick Pence to shore up your religious people. You pick Joe Biden because he actually has a lot of more experience. When Obama picked Biden, it was because he had foreign experience. He had experience with dealing with diplomatic issues and stuff like that, and he'd been there a long time, because that was the complaint about Obama, is he's new. He's never run anything before. He's been a one-term senator, and he's super inexperienced. So they picked the most experienced person they had. They picked what was her name from Alaska, Palin. They picked Palin because the day before Hillary lost the primary, and they gave Michael Steele, head of the RNC, at the same time, because he was going to be the vice president pick. Had Hillary won the primary and Obama had lost, they would have put a black guy as VP under John McCain. Just my assumptions and stuff like that. But Hillary lost, so they put the lady in. If Obama had lost, they would have put the black guy in, and that would have been that's how VP picks are chosen. And I think you're right. Haley might be the one they go with.
Yeah, Trump. He's gonna pick her.
Okay.
I mean, I'll say this: I'd be extremely surprised, and I'll make this up a 2024 prediction.
Ooh.
Another one.
All right.
Another one from Thomas for 2024.
Let's do it.
I will say that the 2024 ballot is going to be Joe Biden and Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump and Nikki Haley.
Okay.
I think that Nikki Haley will be his VP pick.
Okay. That would not surprise me.
To the question of RFK having a viable chance. No.
He's met the signature requirement to qualify for Utah's 2024 general election presidential ballot. One step closer to getting on the ballot in that state.
I actually like RFK.
Threshold.
For a lot of things that he said. Here's the thing, though, is that you are never going to make it as a presidential candidate with his voice. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's not happening.
Yep. It's not pleasant, but I agree. It's not nice. It's not polite. It's not politically correct. But it is correct.
The fact is, look, if you sound good, if you look good, your chances of making it as a presidential candidate are much, much stronger. And if either of those two things are in the wrong direction,
Mhm.
your chances are much, much lower as a presidential candidate. Like that's the long and short of it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
sorry,
I mean they said the
it's not
same.
politically correct.
They said the same about Barack Hussein Obama. He overcame it, but it hurt him. I think it would hurt Vivek Ramaswamy, and it. Uh, I have a. I'm another prediction to go along with yours is that people start talking about Nikki Haley's real name. I think that actually will come up if she's chosen as VP. She's Sikh by birth, and her first name isn't Nikki. It's Ahmed something. Doesn't sound American, and I think that they will bring that up, and it'll be an issue, but I don't think as big an issue as RFK Jr.'s voice.
No, I mean, I feel bad for the guy. His voice is not his fault.
Right.
But
There was a medical thing that happened, and yeah,
yeah,
it's not his fault. I don't think Nimrata. I think that's a nice name, Nimrata Haley. That I think that's interesting, but uh, there are certain people who won't vote for Nimrata Haley, but would vote for Nikki Haley. Uh, yeah. So
unfortunately, there's a lot of politics that is about the
presentation, the packaging. Yeah.
exactly, yes, the presentation. That's what I was looking for.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think that RFK has a chance because the presentation comes with the voice that sounds like he's been smoking 3 packs of cigarettes a day for about 40 years.
Right.
And I mean, it's not his fault. I get it, but it's it's tough to listen to the guy. I like him. I would vote for him probably. But I don't think he has a chance because when you do politics, it's about presentation, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, that's
Yeah. I was like, hey, who's this cool guy? He's got the word name Kennedy, but then he lost me with the conspiracy theorist stuff. Um, I grew up a conspiracy theorist. I've been one for such a long time that I see them and I recognize them and I smell them from a mile away. I make the jokes about Alex Jones all the time about how the government's coming for you, but he's a little on that side, and I can appreciate it, but I can't vote for it. He's been very anti-COVID and very anti-COVID immunization. Uh, yeah, he started to sound like a lunatic. Um, so it worries me that he would be uh, pushing anti-vax kind of ideas.
well, that was also definitely a misstep on his part in terms of his run. uh, yeah, I mean,
So, any other big, super important news you want to talk about? Any things that have been eaten at you that you'd like to bring up while you're here?
oh, maybe, but I think maybe you should answer the question
Oh,
there
off
from
topic, is
Starscream
there a TIE fighter
because
behind you on the floor? Yes, there is actually. That is, I got this years ago. I've been too lazy to hang it up, but there it is. Yeah. I got this for my son for a Christmas present, and then he just didn't care for it. And I could hang it from the ceiling or something like that. I got plenty of room, but like I'd have to put like a ladder and some wires and strings and stuff like that. But it would look cool, I think, hanging from the ceiling. I'm just lazy and not very handy. It's a complicated combo. Uh, Too much secrecy and disinformation over the past 100 years become impossible to prove anything in the face of official denial. I'm not. Official denial gets investigated by investigative journalists. What doesn't get investigated is unofficial denial. The YouTube cranks don't get disproven. I can go on YouTube right now and find hundreds of hours of evidence for a flat Earth. It'll never get debunked because nobody pays attention to it. The people who
Oh,
like
it
it, the people
totally
who
is debunked.
it's debunked, but why are they still believing it? Because
Well,
they
the
choose to
funniest
believe
thing
it.
is, I forget where I've seen it. It might have been a Netflix thing.
Mhm.
But someone actually paid some flat earthers and recorded them uh, doing some experiments, which was hilarious. They got like a laser thing, and it was supposed to be that if the Earth is flat, then when we put these boxes with the hole cut out in them, in a couple of different spots, that we'll be able to see the light through the boxes,
Mhm.
right? And if the Earth is round, then you would have to raise the light up a few feet in order to see the light through a couple of boxes. And it was like they paid a lot of money for the laser thing, that would make it so you could see, or that it was it was a very expensive experiment, and they basically ended up proving that the Earth is round because they had to raise the laser to see
Right,
it.
they had to raise the laser. Um, and that's a very cool thing that I but but the YouTube videos are still there. They're still there. There's still people on there telling you not to take the vaccines. There's still people telling you that the keys are sticking to them, that the metal keys are like magnetizing them and sticking to their skin. That stuff's still there because they choose to believe it. They want it to be real. So, Valiant Thor talking about the government keeping stuff from us. I'm not worried as much about Big Brother as I am Little Brother. Little Brother is your favorite YouTuber telling you what is and isn't real, and you believing it unquestioningly. Um, the little brother is somebody on X, formerly Twitter, saying things that aren't true, and you believe them, and then you carry them, and you vote based on these untrue things. Uh, that's a lot harder to squash. That's a lot harder to investigate if you choose to accept it. You know. Uh, and then you say, vital information is mostly kept away from average citizens. What ends up in the hands of public internet is diluted to the point of uselessness. Uh, because reality is boring, Valiant Thor. I appreciate you liking and subscribing. Every little bit helps. I'm still such a small streamer that you're a big part of this little stream. I appreciate it. But to your point, reality is boring. It's far less interesting than any conspiracy theory I could whip up on YouTube. It really is.
Oh, I think reality can be quite interesting, actually. Uh, for example,
Mhm.
aliens.
Also, at this moment, fiction and not reality. Uh,
Ooh, I think we've had our most credible um, instances yet. With that, it was actually a couple of years ago, but with that pill, um, the flying pill,
I think that was a
the
drone.
flying tic tac.
I think it was a drone.
No way.
Yeah, they didn't know what it was. What year did that happen? That happened in 2003 or some shit like that, right?
No, no.
Was it 13?
13.
Yeah, it was
It had to
2013.
be 2010s, yeah.
Okay, okay. So it was
And you
2013.
had naval officers and whatnot that came out and were like, "Yeah, I was flying the plane. Uh, definitely saw this thing,
Swamp gas reflecting the light of Venus.
and I mean, I don't see any reason for them to lie about it,
I don't think he's
right?
lying.
Like,
I think he saw something he didn't know what it was. In
well,
2013, there were
well,
fewer
yeah, but
drones. Drones
hold
were
on a
still
second.
a big state
But
secret
they're saying that these things moved in ways that we're not even capable
because
of
it was
making things
so
move.
much smaller than he had expected. Drones are so much smaller than an F-16, right? And by it's like, have you ever like seen a tiny little dog up close? It looks big. It's if you put a tiny dog this close to the camera, it's very big. And from far away, it's really hard to judge how big a thing is. There was there was an experiment with this in from what is
Well,
people
hold
trying
on.
to debunk. Someone was
Wait,
trying
wait,
to
wait.
debunk the
Wait,
conspiracy
wait, wait,
theory.
wait. No, the Tic Tac has no visible outer method of propulsion. That's the problem.
Because it was so far away they couldn't comprehend what it was. It had tiny little rotors that were this big, tiny little spinning propellers that were moving it around. I suspect, but this is just my very reality is boring assumption.
Ooh.
Uh,
Well, there we have a disagreement. I
that's what.
think
Especially in the sky with less frames of reference to compare the size.
this is probably the most credible UFO um, sighting that we've had.
I agree. It is
It,
unidentified.
it comes
It is
from
flying.
a
It is an
lot of
object.
people that are more credible than anybody that has a reason to make these kind of
Yeah,
claims.
I'm not
And
saying he
then,
made it up. I'm telling you he saw an unidentified flying object.
Parallax over a
He
body
didn't
of
know what it
water makes it
was,
difficult to understand what you're looking at. They were
and
also
because he
using
didn't
their
know what it was,
instruments, which I
he
think adds.
told us
Out on the
he
ocean
was
it'd be
thinking,
like, is that oil tanker or a log?
and in telling us what he was thinking, a lot of people jumped on it and they immediately said aliens. That's the first answer for a whole lot of people.
that's fair.
I saw
I
something
think,
weird in the sky, aliens. Well, no, it's a plane, man. It's a drone. In 2013, there were fewer drones. He's not used to seeing drones as an F-16 pilot. I'm guessing an F-16. It's one of those jet engines. He's not used to seeing
yeah,
drones. He's not used to seeing them move back and forth the way they do. And because he was above the ocean, it's hard to get the correct scale. Shin Sentos has less frames of reference, and that's the boring answer that I've come to. Reality generally is pretty boring. That's just the way I think. And I used to be a conspiracy theorist, and it just kept turning out nothing every single time. It was just nothing every time.
that's fair. I
Uh,
mean,
and
I
I had to abandon the conspiracy theory life completely in 2012 because, motherfucker, there was only one thing that every conspiracy
Waldo
theorist
failed
agreed
at
on.
denial.
We all agreed that 2012 was the fucking biggest thing that's ever going to happen. I watched hundreds of hours of people telling me on YouTube, 2012 is going to be a great year. Everything's going to happen. I heard thousands of different ideas of what was going to happen. December of 2012, the Mayan calendar is ending. They knew something was coming. We're all going to see it. Everything is convergence and everything. It's I think what's his name, Terrence McKenna said some stuff about it like being
remember that too.
yeah, and
There was a movie actually
yeah,
titled
there's an
2012.
entire movie talking about it. Nothing happened.
The world as we know it is going to end.
Oh yeah, and
It,
we get that all the time. I mean,
but this is
remember
everybody agreed on it.
if you recall Y2K.
Well, that was a group of people saying a thing. There are still small groups of people saying that there's going to be doom come next year. Great, whatever. This was all of them. Every single conspiracy theorist that existed said 2012, we cannot be wrong on this. There's no way this is wrong. All of us are in agreement. It's all there. Crickets. So I had to abandon all of them. And I rearranged my brain. I was like, man, I've been I had been for what 5 maybe 6 years. I was entirely pointing my life at this one thing.
Y2K was a fun bit of anxiety
And
XD.
when it didn't happen, I had to like rearrange my. I was like, okay, the thing that you were waiting for didn't happen. You need to reassess, and I did some reassessment and stuff like that. And then I moved up in my job and tried a little bit harder and stuff like that. And then that made me more successful, and I got a little bit better. And I think I am a better person since then. Do you
Right.
hear the robot lady talking? I don't think you
In the
do.
background a little bit.
Okay, okay. So here's what usually we do lately. I go over the news, we field some things out, I turn on the robot lady, and then we play a video game. You are welcome to stick around for that if you'd like. If you don't, that's okay too. If you want
At
to keep
Mouse
talking, you
City,
can.
I had fun with that on school assignment, going down that rabbit hole.
So,
What you playing?
Death Must Die.
Ooh.
I have not played
You
it
know,
yet.
I recently have been playing Hollow Gear.
Hollow Cure?
Yeah, which
Never
is
heard of it.
also a survivor style
Yeah, yeah.
game.
I've been crazy for these survivor likes. The Halls of Torment I've been doing, uh, and now Death Must Die. And I played Vampire Survivor on stream a bunch of times. So let's figure out how to put it on the screen. That's on the screen. That is very wrong. Let's not do that.
By the way, it's cool to have Thomas back on stream.
Oh, cool. Malcidian said he's glad you're here.
Hey, Malcidian.
Thanks for being here too. Let's do turn off window capture, turn on game capture. Then we
I feel like
choose
this
which
crazy
game.
guy needs a counterbalance once in a while, you know?
Yeah, I do go off the deep end pretty regularly. Let me. So this is the tricky part: is getting a new game on the screen. Each one is different. Like I was playing Classy WoW, and it just has different settings in OBS than Vampire Survivor or something else, and so you have to wrestle with them and get them into the thing. Let's see. If you're watching, come on. Feel free to chat. I've turned on the robot lady voice, so all you have to do is chat, and she will read it to us and hit us with your hot takes, your political takes, your how you feeling, anything you feel like telling us. Why do you suck? Capture full screen application? I don't think that's a good
Oh,
idea.
I have a hot take
Yeah, give me a hot take.
about my own life, actually.
Oh no. Okay.
Or
Hit
maybe
us.
my own
Diamond is a metal.
perspectives.
Okay.
So you may recall a stream we did a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh God, hold on. My sinuses are getting crazy. Let me blow my nose real quick.
Yeah, go nuts. Chat. Everybody yell at Malcidian for being weird. Diamond is a metal? I thought it was like a crystal structure or something like that.
Water isn't
All right.
wet, the
Hopefully
suture
I
face
sound
off.
messed up. So you may recall a stream we did a while ago about like punishments and whatnot for criminals, and there were people that were like concerned about my opinions on what should happen to people that do certain heinous crimes. You recall that?
I do remember some things, yes.
Yes, okay. So I was watching some movies over the
Check
holidays.
out Waldo's videos,
Specifically,
https
Home Alone.
www.youtubecom
I
at
was,
Waldo videos.
I'm wondering what your opinions are on what happens to the criminals in Home Alone. Do they deserve it?
Deserve is a worthless term. I try not to ever use it.
Really?
Yeah. You start getting into guilt and doubt and well, not
Hey, you're the
actual
one time
guilt.
gave their hourglass to, huh?
But like
OMG,
deserve.
we watched Home Alone over Xmas as well.
Deserve is impossible to determine. Yes or no. There is no right
Well,
answer.
so I disagree. I think deserve is perfectly reasonable, and I think the guys in
I
Home
got
Alone,
over my perpetual
the criminals,
overtime in Blitzball. My team levels are in the late teens, early 20s.
absolutely deserved everything they got in the first two movies. I haven't watched I didn't watch anything past the first
you
two.
don't want to do that.
Yeah, but I watched the first two Home Alone movies in, you know, the ones with Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin, over the holidays, and I was like, you know, I wonder how much these movies shaped my perspective, growing up, and that's why I have the opinions that I have. Like when I watch Merv walk up the stairs that are coated with tar, and he's in a house he's not supposed to be in, and then he takes a step and and he steps directly on a nail, and it goes through his foot, and he screams and falls down the stairs. I'm like, yeah, you got what you deserved, you motherfucker.
That's I'm not saying that that's morally bad, but if you know someone's coming in to get you and you put the nail there and he steps on the nail, that's acceptable to me. Uh, but does he deserve it? I try not to use the word at all.
Okay.
Cartoonish level of dumb.
That's just my morality. Like nothing is deserved. Nothing. It's just a bad term that I try not to use. Not because it is an unuseful one. It's just that you immediately get into a discussion of what the word means and who deserves what, and doesn't accomplish anything, in my opinion, though. Now, I am playing with this thing here. So, yeah, the chats somebody else watched Home Alone. Shinsento's moved forward on his Blitzball tournament. That's good.
Yo, Blitzball.
He's been lamenting Blitzball for the past couple of weeks.
No. Hold on. We gotta talk Blitzball.
I love Blitzball.
Shinsento. Wait, no, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I love Blitzball.
What game is it from?
From Final Fantasy X. But my favorite.
Oh fuck.
Dude, Keepa is my favorite. I told him, Shinsento, have you gotten Keepa for your to be your goalkeeper? That's his name.
I actually had an interesting reaction to Home Alone when I watched it the other day. Even though the robbers were up to no good, Kevin is kind.
Oh, Kevin is kind of a psychopath. I cringed a ton at the slapstick. As an adult, you can see how he would be crazy.
Yeah,
but
so
hit me on Blitzball.
So, first of all, Final Fantasy X is the best Final Fantasy game of all time.
I agree. It's the second best. It's very high up there, but second. But
it's the best.
Okay. It's because I'm. It's because I'm older.
And Blitzball is
the. This Thomas guy doesn't even watch the stream.
Is the greatest mini game that any Final Fantasy game has ever had.
I can agree with that. It is the best mini game. I'm on board for that. You run around. You have to pay the players. You have to find them. You have to convince them to join the team. That if you use Sphere Shot too often, the opposing teams will learn how to do it.
Hey,
I think that's brilliant. S.A. Bonanza. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming in again. I recognize your name.
Well, the trick is you got the check shot, and then you just abuse the check shot.
Well, you start with the Sphere Shot, and if you abuse the Sphere Shot, the opposing teams will take it. If you abuse the check shot, you will.
Yes.
Win
yeah,
games,
they'll copy that.
They will copy that.
Yeah.
Blitzball music lives rent free in my head.
Well, whatever it is you're doing here, I'm always.
It's so good. I wish they had not fucked up Final Fantasy X2.
It's the first one to get a direct sequel, and it was a terrible idea. I agree. The story.
I've just had a lot of word haha. It made me lose my will to live for a while now. All I do is get 1 or 2 goals.
The story had an ending. It had a good
3
ending.
to 4 minutes.
Don't mess with it.
Yeah. So, anyway, I don't think Kevin was a psychopath. I
agree. I don't think he was a psychopath.
I mean, he shows a lot of compassion, actually. Not for the criminals, but
for good people, right?
Mr. Shovel, that is apparently a shovel murderer.
Yeah,
in the first movie.
That's a conspiracy theory, though, isn't it? Like somebody told Kevin a thing, like the world is flat, so he believed it without thinking, without looking into it. I think there's an interesting lesson there. Don't just believe everything you hear.
Sure, certainly.
Especially from Buzz.
I mean, especially from Buzz.
Because he came to church, Jesus saved him. This 8-year-old has a calculating mind for vengeance XD. Undoubtedly, the McAllisters are shitty people.
Oh,
I can't agree.
The goddess of all the hot stuff. Fires, volcanoes, you know it.
KBP, I don't think Jesus saved him. But,
So, yeah,
No, I thoroughly enjoyed Home Home Alone, somebody said that the slapstick was cringe, and I really enjoyed it. It's like,
I mean, it's
yeah,
a movie for kids, right? Like that's
Oh, yeah.
the entire purpose of it. Yeah, which is good.
I know
And
that,
fine.
but at
And-
the same time, it's like, all right, you try to break into someone's house and you get an M branded into your
What the
hand
turning
because
point
you
of the movie was the church scene.
grabbed a really hot doorknob
yeah,
that
I'm
you
not saying.
weren't supposed to be getting into,
Yeah.
and it's like, you kind of deserved it.
Okay. I'm on board with saying that he deserved it. It's just that I'm not gonna.
I watch both of them too this holiday.
I can't. This game is a little trickier. I can't move to my second screen to click on things. Okay. I'm gonna not chat anything. Chat.
I love that movie and watched it as a kid. I watched it again as an adult and had a physical reaction to THGE injuries. Still love it.
There's certainly a physical reaction to the injuries. Like when you see the guy step on the nail, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
no,
Everybody knows.
No. It's like, ooh. It's sort of like imagining that you put a toothpick in between your big toes, nail, and skin, and then kicking a desk.
Yeah.
And I have a physical reaction to thinking about that. At the same time, it's like,
Staple gun to
wouldn't
the
happen
dick
if
and
they
ass
weren't,
gets me.
breaking into a house and trying to kill a kid.
Right. It's not a good thing to be doing either. I agree. They're morally
kind of their
incorrect.
fault.
They're morally incorrect. But do they morally deserve a thing? No. Nobody deserves anything. I'm way too slow.
Well, I mean, they're morally incorrect. Yes. So, uh-oh.
I already died. It's too slow.
Unfortunate. So, I mean, to I wonder, like, I see that and I'm like, yep, you deserved it. You broke into someone's house. All these things happened to you. And every single one, you know what?
Could have avoided it, yeah.
Could have avoided it.
Has brought
And
you back.
honestly,
Step
here's the thing,
into the
is
water
in real
once
life,
more,
nowadays especially,
cannot follow you, but soon others will
Harry
come
and
to your
Marv
aid.
could have sued the
Death will
McAllisters
stand trial for his
for
transgressions.
wrongful injury
Right.
or whatever.
The bodily mutilation of his hand there, yeah.
His hand, the other guy's foot,
Lol.
the staple gun to the dick.
Yeah, they could
I don't
have,
think that's
but
right.
They
I will say that I think that whatever they got when they got into that house, they deserved it, and they should not have. There should not be any legal culpability. What do you think? Should Harry and Marv have been able to sue the McAllisters
should they
for
be
the injury that
allowed
they
to sue?
suffered?
Yes.
No. They allowed to sue and, well, should they have won a lawsuit against the McAllisters for the injuries that they suffered?
Should they have
If they
won the
did.
lawsuit?
Make 'em
So
feel
if
the
they
heat.
sued,
Those
should
of
they
them
have
that
won?
can anyway.
Definitely allowed to sue.
Only if they could convince a jury that the child went out of his way to intentionally harm. I mean, he could have called the regular police, but then he would have been, again, they would have known he was alone. So it's not easy. It's not good. I think you let them win and say yes, but then you call it time served almost.
Check
what
out
what do you
Waldo's
get to win
videos,
from this lawsuit? Well, nothing, because you are not supposed to be there. You're breaking in.
Videos.
He's childish. He can't be held responsible for the actions. And then just call it square. Yeah, you win, but you do not get to sue for damages, I guess. Yeah, he's not allowed to do that to you. but you're not allowed to sue for damages, and you're also going to jail for breaking the law. You broke the law, he broke the law in return. Not a good thing.
Allowed
Two
to
wrongs
sue,
don't
yes,
make a
jury
right.
would side with them, no.
I don't know. I can go either way with those.
Okay, so hold on. I misspoke with the allowed to sue.
Okay.
And that's what our chat is going for.
Mhm.
Harry and Marv, if they had sued the McAllisters for wrongful injury,
If the burglars
should they have
decided
won?
enough was enough
They're
left
not
and
wrongful.
Kevin hunted them down, then they could have a case.
I think your good lawyer would say that this isn't wrongful. You knew the kid was alone. You knew that he was gonna panic, and the minute you burned yourself and you kept trying to come in, I mean, what was the first thing that happened to them?
They slipped down some icy stairs.
They slipped down some icy stairs.
Yeah.
If he intentionally did that, then maybe he's intentionally causing. He's intentionally causing harm.
He absolutely
Can they
it
prove
shows
that?
him.
Can
He
you prove that?
pours water
Yeah.
down every set of stairs that leads to the house. So there's the stairs to the basement.
Slippy
He pours
steps
water
and a
down,
hot
and there's
handle.
the stairs to the front door. He
Homeowner
pours water
insurance
down.
is great.
Yeah. Then the hot handle happens, right?
And yes, so it's Harry, who is played by Joe Pesci.
If I remember correctly, booby traps are not allowed and not covered by the law. I think somebody has set up like a shotgun trap. Shotgun traps are not
Hands tied to the
protected
rail and F.
by the law, if I remember correctly.
You're correct, and that's sort of where I'm going.
Okay.
Is you know me to be a relatively vindictive person when it comes to people that have done wrong.
Sure.
So when I watch Home Alone, and I'm like, yeah, they got everything they deserved. Oh, nice dodge.
There's a dodge button that I didn't know about before.
It's sort of like, yeah, I think that
I tasked you with
maybe,
defeating death.
just
For
maybe,
this, I reward you with my
um,
powers. Now obey.
those booby traps
This is
should
the
be
real debate stream, by the way.
protected, right? Like, if you touch a handle that you're not supposed to, you know you're not supposed to be there, someone's defending their home, and you get an M on your hand forever, it's kind of your fault.
I can appreciate that situation where you know they're coming, you're trying to defend yourself. But I think the fact that they were booby traps really takes away the argument. Do they deserve it? Well, I don't argue deserves. I think it's a waste of time. Did they get it? Yes. Should they sue? Possibly. And I would say,
Well, they
if they
certainly
sue,
can sue.
They certainly can. And what they
There's
think
the
should
property,
happen
the lead up
is
to
that
the structure,
the
and then the interior.
McAllisters pay for the medical bill of that specifically, but then the McAllisters also get to sue them for breaking into the house and terrorizing their kid, and they get lots of.
Well, the problem is that nowadays you have such a thing happening, and people get criminally charged. It's not a matter of a lawsuit for
I
money.
think traps on the exterior of the property leading up to the structure are a suable issue.
It's a matter of nowadays if someone breaks into your house
Or would be.
and you have anything inside of your house that can injure them, even if it's just a very waxy floor, you can actually sue them.
Right, but then you'd also have to admit that you came in incorrectly and illegally, and then you go to jail for that. And then I think in that situation, the lawyers would be like, okay, well, he did this and he wasn't allowed. So, yes, he slipped on the waxy floor, and yes, it is our fault, but the damages will be 0. you're allowed to sue him, but you're not allowed to, like, get millions of dollars for him? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's reasonable. And I don't have cases on hand.
Okay. Yeah, we all know the lawyer joke, the trope that, yeah, the guard dog bit you. Yeah, that's a lot of slimes.
Oh, you
Dead
lived.
again. Nope,
Oh no.
not for long. I'm dead.
Yeah, I mean, if the guard dog bites you after you break in the house, the dog shouldn't be put down.
No, I don't think I wouldn't suggest that either. That's the dog doing what it's supposed to do. That is the homeowner protecting themselves with a guard dog. That's you get to sue them, but then the damages I would say are zero. Yes, he bit you, and yes, they are liable. Maybe for medical bills if it's a willing and intentional, like. Well, I think Kevin McAllister's family should have to pay for their medical bills, but that's it. That's my stance.
Really?
Yeah.
So they broke into the house.
Yes.
And Kevin set up a flamethrower.
He didn't call the police.
Directly inside.
Yeah, he didn't. The regular police? No, he didn't. He didn't call them because he didn't want them to know he was home alone, which is a incorrect thing for him to do. He should have picked up the phone, said 911, hi, I'm home alone. My parents accidentally left me here. I need the police. Someone is trying to break in. Regular cops would have showed up. He wouldn't have been burned on the face. He wouldn't have been branded with an M. They wouldn't have fallen down the stairs. Kevin has deviated from the proper procedure here. And I think he did that for a selfish reason.
No. I think Kevin was 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no police officer that would have been stationed at his house. Kevin would have been taken to the police station.
Right.
And then his house would have been burglarized.
If he said, I think that someone's trying to rob me, I heard them saying it. Here's what he looks like. He looks like Joe Pesci.
Yeah, they
might not have. You're right. They may not have posted a person out there. They wouldn't have posted a cop. But cops do like to catch burglars, man. Like, they do kind of like that. If you said, "Hey, I know they're coming. I know where a crime will happen,"
his family had been Magic Edway.
They might show up. You know what? Gets police people promotions? Catching bad guys. Kevin says, I think they're coming by tonight at 7, and a cop happens to be there at 7:01, catches him, puts him in the thing, he gets promotion. That's entirely possible as well. Maybe they think that he's crazy and just made it up and imagined the whole thing. Entirely possible. At which point he just sits in the police station until his parents arrive, and they do get burglarized. Entirely possible. But then the burglary then becomes a fact, and they say, oh, okay, well, he wasn't lying about that. Oopsie doopsie. Sorry.
The police came, knocked, and said, nah, nobody is home.
Entirely possible that the parents sue the police at that point, but that's getting outside the point. So, yeah, the cops could have used his descriptions after that. Or Marv, did he know their names? Maybe. And maybe he puts out a description, and maybe they feel bad. Maybe they get sued. So, yeah. It could go a few different ways.
Yeah.
But by not calling the police, by not calling 911, he has broken the societal rules slightly. Booby traps are not allowed. Guard dogs are, that bark and bite. That's usually kind of allowed. Flamethrowers above your door aren't. Shotguns tied to strings that fire the minute you open a door is a thing that happens sometimes in reality, and they are not legal.
Well, right. And I get that.
Yeah, and I think by Kevin not calling 911 immediately.
At KVP 24, the police came to check if someone was home, not to look for robbers.
chat is saying that owning and maintaining an unsafe dwelling or public space makes sense in stores.
What if someone you don't want to hurt trips your trap?
Yeah, what happens if someone you don't want to hurt trips your trap? Well, you're in double trouble then. The police came, knocked, and said, no, nobody's home, just fucked off. Well, because they were looking for, to find out if anyone was home, not look for robbers, yeah. So he could have picked up the phone that first day and dialed 911. Hi, I'm alone. And maybe he would have gotten robbed. It's entirely possible. I don't blame him. I don't think he's responsible. I mean, right? He's 8. He's an idiot. 8-year-olds are idiots.
Well, so here's the thing: is burglars suing for getting injured inside of the home seems like an intentional stretch.
You keep leveling up your survivor games.
And so, for the things that Kevin McAllister did, right?
Mm-hmm.
The burglars were obviously trespassers, which is an actual category in terms of people that enter your home.
Legal definition. I'm on board.
Now, you're not liable for any injury that trespassers have when they enter your home, except if the homeowner causes injury through physical attack, use of weapon, setting a trap for intruders, ignoring signs of frequent intruder, or not posting about a serious hazard on the property.
Okay, that's why I have I have a sign that says "Killer Chihuahua."
Right. So
Chaos would love this.
So
if only they could see
Kevin
it.
McAllister set traps. Should the McAllisters be held liable for the injuries incurred to Harry and Marv?
Reasonable warning of danger.
Only for the medical bills, honestly. That's what I think that would be a fair thing to do.
I disagree. I think they got what they deserved, and they should be on the hook for the medical bills themselves.
I mean, they're going to jail, so the price would be very, very low. I suspect, because they're going to get state health care now from the prison system, which isn't going to cost all that much. If they need specialty care, something along those lines, then I think the McAllisters foot that bill. Not because he did anything wrong, well, but because if the cops show, how often do the police showing up to 911 things use blowtorches and branded M on your hand? Almost never. Had they been shot by the police, I mean, that's proper use of state violence, you know? Branding an M on your hand and slipping down the stairs isn't. Which is the only reason I would suggest, if they had walked in and Kevin shot them, 100%, don't pay for that. You don't do that. But I think you're getting into issues with the booby traps.
Cruel and unusual force.
And it is an interesting legal issue, and it does have gray morality all over it, and complicated.
Well, I mean,
questions.
it is a moral argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if someone breaks into your house, what is the reasonable level of force that they incur upon doing that? And what is reasonable and unreasonable for your response to them breaking into your house?
It is a very fun and interesting moral argument to be made.
A shouted warning of force followed by
Yeah,
force.
that's why I'm bringing it up. We're on stream.
I got you. It's cool. Specifically,
in
this situation, I think I've come to a conclusion. Yeah, the McAllisters pay for any specialty stuff, and they go to jail. And had
You've been enlisting a lot of help from the others,
Kevin
haven't
not
you? I bet he wouldn't
called,
expect his own tools against him, though.
it
Mind
had,
if I join?
sorry, the thing is talking to my ear and I
Hey
can't
bad
lower
guys, come and get me.
it. Hey bad guys, come and get me. Yeah. Had Kevin not, had Kevin called the police and no one showed up, they would be, he would have less liability, you know? If he had called 911 and the cops are like, yeah, okay, crank call, get out of here, then he has more fear and more reason to put the put the blowtorch there because he's in fear for his life. Was he in fear for his life? Half. He's in the movie. He's 50-50. 50% in fear for his life. 50% this is fun. If he invites them in and makes it, if he baits the trap, it's that 50-50 shifts, doesn't it? It shifts to like 70% fun and 30% fear for his life. If he calls the police and they don't show up, or they tell him he's a crank call and stop calling, it now 10% fun, 90% fear for your life. So you kind of have to weigh
Kevin
those.
is as cool as a fucking cucumber the last half of the film.
Malcidian says that Kevin's cool as a cucumber, which means that he's a psychopath. Children should be freaking out.
Yeah, I'm Mort, Death's daughter. I'd really like to see him
Kevin
defeated,
has seen
nonetheless.
them fall for
Personal
all of his
reasons.
traps at that point, at which point I'd be cocky as fuck too. I mean, he's shot one of them in the dick with a BB gun and one of them in the forehead.
Mhm.
And then had one of them step on a nail
Mhm.
and drop an iron on his face and burned their heads. I mean, also hit them with a pair of paint cans.
Mhm.
He, yeah, he's cool as a cucumber at that point because
He's
they're
winning.
idiots,
He's
and
winning.
he's winning.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
the fact that they keep coming after being rebuffed, after being burned, means that they have the worst of intent, and intent sometimes matters in a court case, doesn't it?
well, their intent originally was just to rob the house and flood it,
Right, and now they've moved up to murder.
and they moved up to murder after Kevin fucked them up really bad.
Yeah. I think intent matters in a situation like that too. So you've got a lot of lawyer arguments to be had.
I posted an aided version of Home Alone posted in your Discord.
Oh no, I think that if they died while attempting to invade the home, then the McAllisters should not have been charged.
For their deaths?
Yeah.
Charged. I don't think you. Well.
Or convicted.
Convicted.
Well, let's say convicted.
So what am I thinking? I'm thinking that simply because they had bad intentions, yeah, I think just pay for the medical bills. And the medical bill for death is pretty high.
No, it's not.
I know. So they've come in, they died. Kevin hasn't called the police. Does he call the police after they left?
He calls the police while
And
they're
Malcity
invading,
and Kevin pulls out a
and
gat
he
and
baits
ends
them
them on the
into another
doorstep.
house that he calls the police on into the house.
Couldn't he have done that like way sooner, or even days sooner? I think we're getting into a bad guy fight here. Yeah, is the kid completely?
Kevin pulls out a gat
salient?
and ends them on the doorstep.
I honestly think that makes more sense.
If he did that, I would say that he should not be convicted.
I agree, because that is like, the thing. It's the sadistic pleasure of creating traps and watching them walk through them, and that starts to become less I'm in fear for my life and like I'm having a good time.
Interesting. Okay, hold on. So,
It's the Murican way.
so you agree with castle doctrine?
To some extent, sure. Not entirely.
So,
and
two burglars attempt to enter your house, and you blow them the fuck away.
all of a sudden, there they are, and you didn't. You're
You didn't invite them.
You didn't invite
They
them.
are
You didn't
attempting
know
to
they
kick
were
your door
coming
in.
days ahead.
You didn't know they're coming. You have a gun. Bam, bam, dead.
That I'm kind of on board for. Sounds okay.
Oh shit! You're actually a Republican.
What doesn't work is if you one, bait them in, two, trick them in somehow, three, know they're coming a day ahead of time and don't call the police. If you knew that those two people that just bam bam dead were coming to yesterday, you knew they were coming and you did not call the police and report it, you have broken the social contract. And then you shot them dead. Now wait a minute, you might be responsible for this. You might have like kind of intended for this to happen because you wanted to shoot them. Now there's a little seed of doubt there, just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of doubt on that one. If you knew they were coming, didn't tell the police, set up a shotgun booby trap so you could take a nap, you've broken the social contract again. Booby traps are not allowed. Not calling the police when you know a crime is about to happen shouldn't be allowed. If you think that
I agree with you.
Yeah. So there are rules, stipulations, and
hold on.
special cases.
So Kevin is 8, and he did call the police, and they did nothing. And okay, so I got what I wanted though. Is so you are in favor of the idea that if someone you don't know they're trying to break into your house until they're breaking into your house, attempts to do so,
if he calls
have
the police and the police
right
do nothing, the police should be liable for their deaths.
The right to shoot them? No, I'm saying that if you do, you won't be prosecuted for murder. If it turns out this doesn't give you the right to do so. It gives you the
you have the right to defend your property.
Right, I'm on board with the right to defend your property, but there are human rights that are more important than that. We have to weigh those in a court of law afterward. If somebody knocked on your door and you just opened it and started shooting, you have not done the things the right way. It was just a Girl Scout selling cookies. You have broken the social contract again. There are 1,000 different permutations of who's on the outside, how they knock, who's on the other side, and whether or not they are cops. That gets this into a complicated mess. You don't have the right to. Well, you do have the right to protect your stuff. So I'm saying yes, you have the right to protect your property. But
or
if
a kid looking for their sibling.
But in doing so, you harm someone's human rights. You might be responsible for that harm in a court of law.
I think we agree.
I think we agree on this as well. What
or someone trying to get their basketball out of their neighbor's yard.
Yeah, somebody trying to get their basketball out of your neighbor's yard. Like a kid throws a basketball, lands inside the fence, they climb the fence, they grab the basketball. They're not there to steal, they're not there to harm, they're not there to do a thing, but you have to prove that in court. If you open fire on them, this is a bad call. This is a bad idea. This isn't the thing that we want people doing on the regular basis.
You would get prosecuted for that. And
right, you would
go to jail for life.
Right, you would, and I think that's fine.
I think the example is outside of the bounds of what we're talking about. We're talking about home intruders.
Okay, home intruders.
People who
they've
enter
opened the
your
window
home
or something along those lines. The window opens while you're sitting quietly
with the intention
playing a video game.
of stealing from you.
No, you don't know their intention, but you know it's not good. They've come in through the window, unannounced. Fire.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I'm okay with that.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we agree.
I'm on board for that.
I mean,
this is acceptable.
trying to get your basketball out of your neighbor's yard.
Through the door shootings were happening and getting a lot of coverage earlier this year.
We had when I was growing up, there was a lady on my block. We called her Crazy Helen.
Mm-hmm.
Her first name was Helen.
Oh, well, that's good.
She was Crazy Helen. And if a ball went into her yard, and you tried to climb the fence and grab the ball, she would freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
If she caught you. And I don't agree with that. That's why she's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Helen. Right?
I with you.
I would say if your ball goes into somebody's home, like a baseball or something breaks through the window and ends up in there, you should probably ring the doorbell.
Yeah, don't climb into the house.
Don't climb into the fucking house. Exactly. If you climb into the house, now you're an intruder. Right. There is a definite difference, and I'm talking to chat right now.
That's just aggravated violence.
Gotcha.
And I agree with Shinzento. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
If you shoot through the door, you're not defending yourself.
You've broken that.
You've broken the social contract.
Yeah.
Right. Through the door shootings, I don't agree with. After they break in, yeah, shoot that motherfucker, kill him. Done. What do you think?
Through the door shootings, prosecute them in the law. Yeah. You've broken the social contract. You've done the thing that isn't supposed to happen. A random person knocking on your door is not a threat. You can have the gun. Hell, hold the gun. Look out the thing. Determine if they're a threat.
I'll say once they enter your house.
Yeah.
Uninvited.
Yeah. Then
whatever happens to them happens.
That's where I would disagree. Whatever happens, happens. Well, no. Whatever happens could be a blowtorch or an improvised weapon in an emergency. Oh my God, somebody's coming in. What is going on? I throw a cup at them because that's the closest thing that I have is a cup. You can't sue me for cup, but building a trap intentionally for them to get burned on the head with a blowtorch is too much. If I run from them to get a blowtorch and then bring it back, maybe in the heat of the moment that's okay. But if I had planned intentionally to have a blowtorch, I think you're breaking the social contract again.
I disagree.
So you're on board for the booby traps?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like that idea. And I think the law already has rules about booby traps, and they're not in favor of them. They don't like them, generally.
Yeah, I disagree with the law then.
That's okay. That's why we'd have debates. I disagree with lots of laws.
Actually, I was thinking about starting a company.
Okay.
It involves a much stronger version of flypaper, and I think it'd be really fun to make it to do boxes that had really strong flypaper.
It involves
basically like human flypaper.
Human flypaper. Okay. So you've give me the elevator pitch. Sell me on this idea.
So you put this on your porch around a box. Excuse me.
Zombie is paper.
Around a box. And you tether it to a spot with a really heavy weight. Right?
Okay.
And so porch pirates come and they try to steal your box.
Mm-hmm.
And
Zombie
the
paper
flypaper
stupid
sticks their
autocorrect.
hands to the box. And also that really heavy weight is not a part of the box, so they try to run with it, and it's tethered there, and then their hands are stuck. And so now they're trapped, and then you call the cops, and they come, and their hands are on the box that they've now stuck their own hands to. And and they're weighted down with a nice weight with a parachute cord attached to the thing that they were trying to steal because they thought it was a package.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fuck porch pirates over because
So you're holding
they try to
someone
grab
against their will on your property.
and run away.
The fact that
I think it's funny as fuck.
The fact that it's not lethal makes it less of a worry for me. But
Not lethal at all.
I know.
No, not lethal, not harmful, unless you try to rip your hand off of the.
Or they think that they've just been caught in a fucking saw trap because they watch too many fucking movies and they think you're a psychopath killer who's going to come out and cut their eyelids off. When a person is caught in a trap like that, they become irrationally fearful, and that irrational fear will lead them to act way more violently than they ought to. If a porch pirate comes out and you open the door and say, "Hey, get out of here," they're gonna run off, mostly. Okay, right? I mean, would you agree that that's gonna happen most of the time? Someone's
Sure.
Hey, what are you doing? It stops most crimes. If they're trapped in that thing and then you open the door, they are 100% attacking you. Without a doubt. They are violently opposing you now.
Are they? Because
they're
their hands are kind of tied.
They're going to try. If they have to kick you, if they have to bite you, if they have to spit at you, they're going to at this point. That's what I'm thinking anyway. And then the other thing is that this is intentionally trying to catch somebody. This falls into the booby trap area again, where...
Oh, it's absolutely a booby trap. Yeah.
Yeah, where you're intentionally trying to catch somebody doing a crime, which, if you do a crime against them, you might be in the bad zone again.
I don't know. I mean, I think that... What's wrong with it? Right?
What's wrong with it? It's more dangerous than the actual normal answer, which is record them.
Y'all seen Mark Rober's porch pirate traps?
Yeah, I've seen the porch pirate
yes,
traps.
Yes, Malcidian, yes. I've seen those, and that's
stinky,
the inspiration.
And it's slightly... the glitter and the stinking and the stuff like that is funny and might be in a gray area legally, but I think the fly trap pushes further into out of the gray area into the not allowed, not legal, because you will put them into such a state of hysteria that they might start attacking people at random. They might just start attacking you if you come out to get rid of them. How does it get off? You call the cops. Well, they're going to try. They're going to fucking try.
The package gets stolen. You call the cops.
But they're tethered.
Their hands are stuck. They can't leave. You call the cops.
Okay.
The cops show up. They're caught exactly in the act of being a porch pirate.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, I know. As long as you're not out there antagonizing them, yeah.
Of course. Now the trick is, there must be an easy way to unstick them. So maybe like acetone, you just drop that on the flypaper and that dissolves whatever stickiness. I don't know what the science would be behind that, but maybe you have a device that just immediately releases them. But I think that would be...
If it harms them, or the reason you're doing it is because you're not home, I would assume. I mean,
you could have it for any reason.
It happens in Arizona, and then the guy lays on your front porch in the sun baking and then dies of heat exhaustion or heat stroke or something like that. Now you're back in that whole...
It's a beautiful scene in a comedy, but I lean towards Waldo's opinion.
Shotgun booby trap issue.
Maybe the tether is triggered to a 911 call.
Someone dies if exposure.
So when someone tries to steal a package, I don't know. It could be worthwhile though.
I don't think it is.
Well, it could be though, right?
Just come up, use all this clever ingenuity that you have to just prevent them from stealing it in the first place, or get it inside the house, or make a box that they can't take it from.
And that's the funny thing is that all this ingenuity comes to... Okay, well, if you have if you do this, right,
Yeah, your mail
then
Amazon
what you could
person
do
is
is
now
you
in
could
danger.
sell plaques that you attach to your door or to your somewhere that's visible where your mail is delivered, right?
Mhm.
It says that if you try to take anything and you're not the resident, you risk personal injury or whatever, right?
You put up a sign. That
Put up a
says,
sign
yeah,
that says, "Don't
intruders will be stuck.
try it," right? And if enough people do it, then just
Posted
having the
warnings.
sign is a deterrent. You could literally just sell the sign without people
Right.
having the box.
And then that's an economy, right? And then the
It is.
people who want
Yeah.
to be porch pirates all carry acetone in their pockets. I mean, it's a never-ending game.
Well, certainly they do, but then you've now added a layer, right? So you've made it more difficult to be a porch pirate. You can't just go be a porch pirate and go steal a box. Now you have to worry about, if I try to steal this box, do I need acetone? Do I need to wear gloves? Right? You've added something to it.
That
And
makes it
now,
hard.
But then a Girl Scout who can't read is
exactly,
in danger.
the harder you make it, the less people will do it.
All right, and the only
And
reason I'm
Barrier security is always a game of
against it
barriers.
is because there may be somebody who doesn't know it or can't tell, or you're catching raccoons, and there's
yes,
there's
that
chance
is a
that
flaw.
you're catching somebody else.
Hey, look, hey, my idea
It's
is
his
in
idea.
the development stages. Okay, like, yes, you will sometimes catch animals
Hummingbirds,
or
hundreds of
Side
hummingbirds.
hustle
stuck
selling
to it.
PPE.
hey, I mean, I think it's a great idea personally.
There are ideas, and then there are good ideas. I'm convinced this is an idea.
Okay,
I'm not saying it's super illegal or even not funny, because people getting stuck to things is funny.
well, there you go.
And I watched all of the glitter bomb videos, and
Those are hilarious,
they're very
and
funny.
I love them. And I like the idea. And what I think is, I would prefer my idea over people doing glitter bombs without the glitter.
Well, the glitter bomb is annoying, but it's not hampering their ability to get up and move around. Once you start saying that, once a person cannot move from your porch steps, all of a sudden they're going to get into, they're in monkey mode, They're in primal lizard brain situation. And primal lizard brain situation is dangerous. I mean, that's why road rage happens, right?
If they don't get hurt by the product and they are trying to steal from somebody, then
So you intend to siege rather than fight.
I think that's best of both worlds, honestly. Like, they get caught, they go to jail, they may be stuck, yes, and being stuck like that is their fault.
I agree, and that's best case scenario. What happens every time is a worst case scenario will happen and pop up. I'm inventing those off the top of my head right now. Yes.
The worst case scenario, yes, is
Glitter
that,
bomb with DDED incendiary device. It was just a prank.
a good-natured person, a good Samaritan, is trying to protect your package for you. Don't die. Oh.
Yeah, it's too late. I got to a boss.
Dang,
though.
nice run.
Yeah, it was my best run so far. The
was
fire
solid.
lady jiggles just right. If you watch her right there, she moves slower when she's attacking, so you don't want to put it on auto attack. That's a trick. it's an interesting idea, and I think it's legally murky. Is all. There's a chance that
Well,
someone gets
don't
harmed
speak legally. I'm talking morally.
morally.
Morally, what do you think?
Morally speaking, you stuck them there. I think the amount of effort and time you have put into it could have been used better to just prevent them from getting your stuff. If porch pirates are crimes of opportunity that some people
Yeah, she
look
got
for the
that nice
opportunity,
bounce.
they look for that opportunity often, but make a box that the things go into that they can't get out. Make a mail chute. Make mail
Jiggle.
chutes a normal part of housing. You open it, you put the thing in, you close it, and it falls into your house. The amount of work you're putting into this is based on stopping them, and we could just prevent the crime rather than stopping it afterward. Morally speaking, anyway.
I think the mail shoot idea is not reasonable because you have packages that are of varying sizes, and if it's too large, of course you're not going to be able to put that in a
Yeah, I agree.
kind. I mean, we have
I
mailboxes.
know. I recognize
already,
that. We have mailboxes, but they don't
and
have
we have
locks on them.
lockable.
They have
mailboxes.
lockable
Yeah, exactly.
mailboxes. Yeah. If you
So
know you're
you
getting
get
a bunch of
package
them,
that's any larger than that, it's like, to me, if you have a
So this goes back to Thomas' introspection on the effect Home Alone has had on him XD.
that is not necessarily life-threatening, but it captures you,
But they must
and you
pay
try to
with
steal
straps.
it, well,
yeah,
your fault.
the fact that it's not lethal makes me more okay with it. The fact that it could be lethal makes me not okay with it. And I guess morally gray, I suppose. It's not a genocide, and it's not working at a soup kitchen on the two extremes. So it falls in the middle somewhere.
And yes, Mouse Indian, you're correct. That is, this absolutely goes back to the introspection on the Home Alone thing. On whether or not Kevin was in the right, which I think he was. How do they pay? Right? Yes.
So yeah, that's an interesting theory that I never thought about before. What is going on? I have to go eat lunch. I appreciate you coming on today. I played a new game that was very exciting, very fun. I appreciate lots of chat
Who
today.
hurt your Thomas? Who hurt you?
I appreciate everybody who's in chat today. Thomas, thanks for coming on. I'm glad you jumped in because I think the ballot thing is an important discussion to have. What is happening in the future? So what is today? Today's Saturday, so we'll probably do another game stream on Monday night and then Wednesday night at 7. I'll bring up the headlines. We'll play this game again. We'll talk about it a little bit more. We'll have the robot lady to give us all your hot takes. And I got a new follower and a new sub on YouTube today, so that's very good. I appreciate the people who are in chat. If
Hope you feel better, Thomas.
Yeah, is it an allergy thing?
No, it actually is a sinus infection. That I've been dealing with for a while. I'm probably going to go to
like a bacterial kind of thing that's sticking around for a long time. Yeah, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, they said it was viral when I first went in, and I'm going to disagree with them.
That shouldn't last
I'm
more than a week.
I'm probably going to go in again.
Yeah.
And ask for a Z-Pack probably.
Yeah.
And
if it lasts that long, it should be a bacterial thing, I would assume.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching, if you're paying attention, this is the Discord.
https Discord GG Beignet Tridix 8.
This is the YouTube link.
YouTube. https www.youtubecom at waldospoliticalstream.
And if you're go there, leave chats and thumbs ups or thumbs downs. I don't care. I don't tell you what to do. if you want to talk about a specific story, go to the Discord, leave the link to the story, and we'll look at it. We'll feel it all together on Monday. Thomas, as always, thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody in chat, and everybody have a good day.
You too, bro.
Bye, everybody.